Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force, again here on Wednesday, because there was a little bit of an oopsies in game, and they started showing the avatar icon for Odin a little bit early. As a result, there's been some new files in the data mines regarding Odin, which I think will be quite interesting. And there's also some updates to the pocket dimension related to Annihilators. So these two things I want to cover in today's video regarding Odin and regarding the Annihilators that have showed up today. Also, I just want to let people know that Scopely is taking Thursday and Friday off for, I believe, a Spanish holiday is what my understanding is. So their offices will be closed. So if you have any issues or if the game has any issues, it's probably not going to get resolved until Monday. So congratulations, super extra long weekend for them, and hopefully there's nothing wrong for us. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. And actually, I just really quickly, before we go any further, one thing that I want to say is that finally the event campaigns, I don't know when this happened, but now it's showing on the campaigns page. Since we're doing a little bit of an update video, might as well do this. So Gore on story mode, hopefully you've done this, but story mode 1.5 on Gore has gold orb fragments. So for those of you who don't need the training orb fragments that were on the Gladiator story node, now if you're like my alt account, that still needs training orbs, then make sure you do that. But if you're in the position like my main account and you want more gold, then make sure you're farming this one on 1.5 for gold orb fragments out of the Gore campaign. They do, however, share the same Annihilator energy, so you cannot do both. You can only do one, just like the Illuminati ones where they had for Hank Pym and Shuri, and I guess the Captain Britain one that came after that. So just wanted to bring that up really quick. I think that's it as far as the in-game stuff goes. And of course, Gore is live now in-game. Check out my video from my last video about Gore if he's someone that you want to engage with, or if you want to buy cores for to unlock a little bit early. But also the Gore orbs are going to be in-game. Actually, we can touch on that really quickly as well. So the Gore orbs are an upgrade over the former one. So there's a bit of a caveat, which I want to talk about. Like on the surface, it is much better, the Gore Annihilator orb. The middle pillar has been reduced to 54.5% for Silver Surfer from 75, which is good. But if you're looking specifically for Gore shards, it's actually the same as what the math would be for Gladiator in the Gladiator orb, if that makes any sense. So the estimated value of this orb for Gore is the same as what Gladiator was in that orb. However, now there is chances, an 18% chance of you getting Gladiator shards as well. So because it's mixed and because, you know, the percentages is obviously more that you're not getting Surfer, the orb quality is better. It's just if you're specifically looking for Gore, it's not necessarily better. It's just there's, you know, there's constellations, right? Or Gladiator is one of the other constellations. So that part's better. So overall the orb is better. You know, just if you're looking only for Gore, it's the same, if that makes sense. Okay, so that one's there, and that's okay. It is what it is. We'll see how long this lasts, because obviously Thanos is the next character. I don't know if we'll have this orb in the arena for more than a week. I'll have to see if Thanos is mentioned. If he's coming next Friday or something, normally the character releases have been about 7 to 10 days apart. Now, first things first is that Odin has a landing page now on msf.gg. Now, in the past, we had landing pages for characters like Pandapool a little bit early and had their icons listed. You can actually see a broken hyperlink here with this, that there was supposed to be a portrait. Basically, this tells us that he's coming soon. And I think at this point, it's safe to say, I think, that Odin will be coming next patch. I think that by the time the event store expires as well, there's 30 days left on this, we'll either see Dark Dimension 8 go live. In fact, Odin could be live in game beforehand. Same with Mephisto, where, you know, he was in the roster page before he was actually available, I guess, for DD7. I think the same thing will happen with Odin. He'll show up in the roster page, but DD8 will come out probably in a month when this comes out. But we can expect maybe to hear about Odin, you know, maybe in the next 2 weeks as far as Kick goes. So they're preparing and they're ramping up for that because this is here. And they say, so apparently what they said is that they meant to push all this info out, but somehow I doubt it, because whenever these kind of these info dumps happen, their line, you know, privately is that they meant to do this. But realistically, I don't think so. But anyways, there are some really juicy data mines that I want to cover. And I do want to recommend that people join up with the Discord server if they haven't, so that they can see these things a little bit in advance of me doing my videos. Normally I do this pretty close together, but you know, it is nice to make sure that you see things when they happen, when it gets changed and whatnot. So make sure you're a member of the Boilon Discord server. You're going to get the most up-to-date information here. Also, of course, on the the YouTube channel. So make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you ring that notification bell for all videos Marvel Strike Force and Boilon. But let's get started. So coming soon, Shattered Dimension. Now we heard about this already, right? So this is the pocket dimension related to Annihilators. I don't think this part was mentioned, but it also is Annihilators and Illuminati. So the last one that we had was Cabal Illuminati, and so now they've changed it to Illuminati Annihilators. There hasn't been any updates to the JSON files in terms of the pocket dimension. I have this weird feeling that they're just going to use the same map, and that they're just gonna, maybe the Illuminati will stay in the Illuminati section of where it was last time, and then Annihilators might take over the Cabal section because they're villains. And they make mention of this in some of the ones down below as well, about villains and heroes and, light and dark, that kind of thing. So Commander, be on the lookout for Pocket Dimension Shattered Dimension. This PD will be coming soon and will challenge your Annihilator and Illuminati teams. You'll need 3 Annihilators and 3 Illuminati at gear tier 14 up to 18 to participate. So this is really important. 3 Annihilators, which means that, just like it was last time, it required 3 Illuminati to enter. You're going to need that for this one. So I don't know in which order the free-to-play release is going to be here exactly, and when we're going to get shards for them, but you would be Silver Surfer, Ultimus, and then like one of the new characters you're going to need to have to participate in this when it goes live. We also strongly recommend at least 3 yellows to start, but I don't even think you can get less than that personally, but we also strongly, oh no, yeah, so the difficulty will increase the further into this strange realm that you progress. Careful planning, strategy, and strong teams will be key in the total victory. As with the first temporal dimension, the PD will also use the temporal health pack. So if you've ever had leftovers of this, which you probably do, then you'll be using this in this new one. So we'll see how hard it is. But as a result, they've really amped up the difficulty because a lot of the envoys and some other people also complained about how easy it was, right? And so now there's going to be a more challenge, and now you're going to be forced to upgrade these characters to gear tier 18 on both teams. They are the teams for the next legendary, so there's that. But if you want to clear the pocket dimension, you're required to have G18 95 to clear pocket dimension. As far as the rewards go, it is not clear, but I just want to make this very clear here that if you want to finish pocket dimension, at least those 6 characters that you're using to clear that needs to be gear tier 18. There's some a little bit additional extra messages that came inside the inbox as well. Strike is monitoring the disappearance of PD. We've been referring to as Shattered Dimensions. We can't be sure when this reality is, just basically rhetoric around, how often these things come out. Time's running out. It will be ending soon. Don't miss out on your chance to earn rare rewards and climb the leaderboards before this vanishes. So they've confirmed that there is a leaderboard either directly related to Pocket Dimension, or it's possible that there could be the main event leaderboard for not next week, but the week after, which would be like August the 27th. So we might see a leaderboard then, and it's tied to tied to Pocket Dimension in terms of your progress, and maybe you get some, I don't know, orb fragments in there per node, and that kind of goes back to an event milestone. So there is a leaderboard coming, somehow related to Pocket Dimension. There's some pool party, like additional events. I think this is coming like next week and above, but they're talking about the wrap up milestone, and then they talk about pool party cleaning crew. I don't know if this is an additional milestone as well, but there's going to be something after this week that's going to be coming next week that just, again, same stuff, shards, gold, training modules, blah, 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 blah. Nothing that exciting. You have to use the pool palace trait for that. And there's some more PD data mines as well. You can see it here that these are the specific mission requirements. So Annihilators at gear tier 14, 15, 16, 14, 15, 16 Illuminati, 17 Illuminati Legendary, 17 Legendary Mythic, and the same for Annihilators over here. And the final section is Annihilator and Illuminati gear 18. I guess what that suggests, I think, because it's both, what it means is that you need 5 characters at 18. So you could use a mix. You will probably use a mixture of Annihilators and Illuminati. You may also just be able to use Illuminati. So at a bare minimum, you do need both teams at 17. But when it comes to the 18 part, you just need 5 characters, I think, to enter and do that. So it could be just that your free to play Illuminati could be 5 at gear tier 18 and the Annihilators are not, or a mixture of both. So just keep that in mind in terms of like if you're not there with the teams and you want to run this and finish this, that might be what you're going to have to do. Some more stuff about Pocket Dimension listed here, which just kind of details the requirements a little bit more. They do some more descriptions on this one here, and they talk about how the you know, just like the other ones, that you'll be giving characters to use during the battles, things like that as well. Some hints talk about this whole villains versus heroes thing going on, and of course that kind of ties into like what's going on for Dark Dimension 8 with heroes and villains there. Legendary Mythic missions allows you to bring legendary or mythic allies accordingly. You also don't need to bring Annihilator or Illuminati characters if you just want to obliterate the enemy teams. That's just like an in-game hint. So when it comes to these sections up here, you don't necessarily need any of them at 17. However, I mean, you're going to need them later for 18. So like I said, at least 5 characters are going to have to be gear tier 18. Anyways, and I saw this. I don't know if this is Pocket Dimension difficulty sliders. It could just be the names of the missions. I was somewhat hoping, though, that maybe because there's a leaderboard, I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe they'll make this into like a Scourge-based system where, you know, there's sliders and that you might get points based on that. So I'm not 100% sure about this one. It's just what I'm seeing. Because it's the mission name, mission PD name, it could be just the nodes. So that's unfortunate if it is. But I think I said that, you know, the only fair way to make it challenging but doable for both early players and end-game players would be if they had a difficulty slider, right? So that people who want a challenge for themselves can push themselves a little bit more, and those who want an easier experience can do so, and the rewards will be, you know, balanced accordingly depending on how much points you scored, something like that. Anyways, here are some additional Odin datamine details as well. Based on the files, there was a lot of updates in the files, but I just wanted to give the TLDR version. So based on the files in the datamines, we have found out that his unique piece is Uru. So this shares with Ultimus, and this is not super surprising because of all of the other characters required with Uru. So this is just purple. But if you are, you know, wanting to think about this in the long term, these are all the characters that actually use Uru. I think at this point, especially with Annihilators coming out, Cersei is sliced off the chopping block here for Cosmic and Dark Dimension. Do not upgrade Cersei to gear tier 19. It is a bad idea, not only because Annihilators are out and coming out right now, but also because of all of the additional uses for Uru. And most of these characters, you're probably not upgrading to gear tier 19. However, if you need to for 18, you know, there might be some considerations here or some concern about Uru in general. Ultimus, I upgraded him to gear tier 19 for Dark Dimension 7. He was my only Uru, and I think as far as my red, I mean, by the time Odin comes out, it's probably like, by the time I get Odin, you know, I have 6. So probably I'll have 18 at that point by the time he is made available. I don't plan to upgrade any of these other characters, and there's no reworks down the line. From as far as I'm aware, I don't think Morbius is getting reworked for the Night Stalkers. I think they only confirmed Moon Knight because there is a vote between them, and Blade is that final character, of course. So if you've been following my videos. And the other things in here, Odin, not super surprising either, but Odin requires 5 gear pieces to upgrade per gear tier, like Apocalypse. I think not all of them, most of the Dark Dimension characters have been, I think, with the exception of Doom. I think Doom was not a 5-piece. Dormammu was a 5-piece Mystic. Skrull was a 5-piece Bio. Apocalypse 5-piece Mutant. So this does kind of make sense here. Mephisto, I don't think he is. I think he's 3, actually. So that's interesting anyways. But yeah, Odin is a 5-piece character. He's also a 5-star unlock. Again, probably not super surprising, but I just wanted to raise this here anyways because this information was in the datamine files as well. I just wanted to confirm that. And Odin has a speed stat of 128. That was available. The base stats are actually in the stats. Now, I do want to just really quickly kind of show people where that is in the speed stat table. So I don't know what the rest of his stats are going to be, but 128 is pretty good. It's within the top, you know, 14 to 20 characters. I don't know how many of these are actually, most of these are not all of them are meta at this time. I don't know if he'll have any other mechanics. He probably will. But as far as where his base stat lands, you know, it's pretty good. It's within the top 20 of all characters in Marvel Strike Force. It's one below Gore, though. Now, if you remember, if anyone watched my video from earlier on today about Gore, I'm just wondering if Gore is going to be somehow involved in beating Odin, like maybe not like a counter or a hard counter, but like a low key because of the way that he clears battlefield effects on the other side, knowing that Odin's Bifrost is also going to be a friendly effect. But that's just me. And that's about it for now. There is no kit details for Odin, unfortunately, at this time. They weren't that bad in terms of what information they let out. But nonetheless, I do think that there's quite a bit here to kind of start thinking about a little bit, start preparing for, especially for this pocket dimension stuff. This is really important. So if you are someone who wants to clear pocket dimension, make sure that you do have at least 5 characters of Annihilators and an Illuminati at Gear Tier 18. Otherwise, you are not going to be able to clear this. Now, I would probably start with Annihilators first, and then, maybe the major characters in Illuminati, depending on what you have available or have upgraded already at this point for yourselves. But otherwise, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And of course, like I said, make sure that you're keeping up with the Boilon channel. Make sure you're hitting that like, subscribe, and notification bell. And make sure you're a member of the Boilon Discord server if you can, because that way you're going to get up-to-date information immediately. Basically, I do videos a lot, so you'll hear it if you keep up on this channel. That's going to be it for now, and until next time, stay safe and healthy. I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.